I, female 33, have been married to my husband 38 for 2 years. He has a tween son from his former marriage. He's always been on bad terms with his ex. They had a messy divorce and hated each other's guts, and it got worse after his ex got remarried. The current problem started when he found out that his ex-wife planned to go on vacation without their son, my stepson. Why? Because her new husband didn't want him to go. Probably because it's a romantic getaway. My husband pitched a fit and insisted they take my stepson, but she refused. My husband then brought him to stay with us, not his days, but I welcomed him and made sure to keep him entertained and happy. All was good till I found out that my husband had booked tickets for a vacation to the same place his ex and her new husband were going. Same hotel, same everything. He booked the tickets in mine and his son's name only. I was confused. I asked him about it, and he said he did this to spite his ex and show her that he can't exclude his son from vacation and who the better parent is. He told me he's arranged for everything, and all I had to do was take time off of work and take his son and go. I was shocked. I asked if he was serious, and he confirmed it. So I went off on him, saying I can't just take time off work and go with his son to a place I've never been before, so that he could one-up his ex. He ranted about how busy he was. Otherwise, he would have, quote, taken care of this himself, but sent me instead. I yelled, saying, I've got a lot on my plate, and I work full-time, and I take care of my cancer-stricken mom. I clean, cook, and take care of my stepson on top of that. He said my boss would understand if I took time off, unlike his, but in response I called him selfish and said no to this arrangement and told him it was final. He flipped his crap on me and told his son that I just said no to a fun vacation for him, funded by his dad. I told him to stop it because I have commitments and won't risk losing my job over an unexpected vacation. And for what? We just got back from one a month ago. He's been ranting about how I'm wasting his time and money by declining to go, and that his son will hate me forever. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You're married to a man who hasn't gotten over his wife, ex, and is willing to hurt his son for some toxic payback. This will not end well. Run. Feel terrible for the kid, though. Hopefully his bio mom is a better parent and gets sole custody one day. Yeah, I wonder how the timeline correlates with the ex getting married and LP an idiot getting married. Sounds like if she can do it, so can I, BS. This is the "we moved into the spaghetti factory" volume marinara flag. If he asked her to, it would be pretty bad but not horrid. The fact that he booked it and ordered her to take off work, that's another level. He won't risk upsetting his career, but if she has problems, what does he care? OP's husband's response has to be one of the most stupid and immature reactions I've heard lately. The poor kid, and by default OP, are pawns in this mess. Even if the ex was neglecting the son to go play with her new husband, you don't respond in this manner. Husband needs therapy or to just grow up. Seriously, hun, he's either still in love with his ex and jealous that she's moved on, or he's got some serious power and control issues that you need to be aware of. It doesn't bode well for you if he's acting like this about her. He's trying to use you and his son in his sick game of revenge. It's totally and completely inappropriate and unhealthy. And frankly, he is being emotionally and psychologically abusive to you. Do you see that? There's so much of a bigger issue here. I, 20 female, was recently admitted to a hospital for a night due to a serious but not life-threatening illness. I was completely out of it for several days with horrible pain before my roommate convinced me to get medical help. She took off work to stay with me in the hospital, and I cannot express how much her support has helped me, as my own family lives too far away. Now, I've been dating Sam, 19 male, for about 9 months. He knew I was sick, so I texted him when I first went into the hospital to update him. Since he was working, he didn't read the message until much later. I sent him around 6 texts updating him with what the nurses were saying and including a photo of me getting an IV giving a thumbs up. It was my first time ever in the hospital, and I just wanted to keep the crappy situation as lighthearted as possible. He responded a few hours later with a thumbs up, and that was all. I asked if everything was all right, and he said, yeah, just you being in the hospital is giving me a lot of anxiety. I'd rather not see you looking like that. I told him that was okay and didn't message him for the rest of the night, not thinking much of it. The next afternoon, his mom called me, asking if I was okay. She had the impression that I sent him the hospital photo after he told me not to share any information and was disrespecting his request. She reminded me that his grandfather had only died a year earlier, and Sam had to spend a lot of time in and out of the hospital, so the updates made him grieve again. I apologized to her and sent him a text saying that I didn't mean to hurt his feelings. He left me unread. My roommate thinks I didn't do anything wrong, and he's being too sensitive and immature to involve his mom. Personally, I think this is a bit unfair, as he was really close with his grandfather and struggled with anxiety. I feel really guilty, as I know how mental health can be and never want him to suffer. Am I the idiot? Did he tell his mommy on you? He told his mommy on you. Drop him, OP, and find someone who'll be at your side when you're sick, instead of whining to his mommy. Hearing that you are sick enough to be hospitalized is too hard on me. Let me know when everything's perfect again, so I can be back in this relationship. Please leave your boyfriend and his mother. He's more concerned about his feelings than about how you're doing. He didn't even ask you how you were or hope that you felt better. You're in pain in a hospital bed for the first time ever, and you shouldn't be the one worrying about him suffering. Yeah, I have this image of the mom wrapping her precious baby in cotton wool and spending her life making sure nothing ever disturbs him. Shudder. Your roommate is right. You didn't do anything wrong. He's not ready for a relationship. Neither is his mother. Not the idiot, honey, but this is not a relationship with a future. Partners should be able to rely on each other for support. I realize you're still very young, but what if you married this guy, needed surgery, or got pregnant? Is this the person you trust to pick up your meds or help you in the bathroom? Can you imagine him holding your hair for you when you're puking your guts out? Not everyone's looking for Mr. Ever After, of course, and that's fine. But if that's what you want, I would gently suggest it's time to start reviewing your options. I hope you recover quickly and satisfactorily. My niece, my sister's daughter, is getting married this weekend, and her wedding's on Sunday. I'll skip it because it's a destination wedding, not too far away but still from our main city, and it's on a Sunday. On Monday I work as most of us do. My son and his girlfriend will go despite my pleading not to. I told them it's a waste of money, and it's very wrong how my niece has her wedding on a Sunday night, expecting most of us to skip work the following day. My son said he doesn't care, and neither does his girlfriend, and they'll just take the day off. But this doesn't sit right with me. I had RSVP'd no that I won't attend, and I left a note in the email saying how it's very inconvenient that they chose that day, and how I feel they should be more thoughtful of those of us who work the next day and can't attend their destination wedding. Regardless of a destination wedding or not, Sunday weddings are a no-no because people work the next day. They can't stay up late for your wedding and then go to work. My niece called me to say how sorry she is I won't attend, and that it's okay she's not offended. I told her that I was actually offended about how she didn't think this throughout, about how nobody else scolded her on that choice, and how many people will now miss out on the wedding for a silly choice she made. She said that date is special for her and her fiancé. That's why she chose it. I told her, of course I understood, but she shouldn't just be thinking about her special and unique date, and she should accommodate other people. She defended herself and said she understands that it's difficult for many people to attend, and she doesn't mind. That made my blood boil because that girl obviously didn't care about the comfort and convenience of her guest and only cared about her own special little date. I told her that. She then started cursing me out and told me, "Okay, who are you?" I said I understand why people might not be able to attend, but my fiancé and I wanted that date, so whether or not you can make it is your business. Just RSVP no and shut up, since I don't owe you any justification on why I chose that date. Good thing your judgmental idiot won't come after all. Who knows what else you'd comment on? She hung up on me. I called my sister and told her how her daughter spoke to me, and she said that her daughter was right. My sister said I was wrong. My son also said I crossed the line, and I should indeed stay out and stop being an idiot. Am I? Well, this is an easy one. You are the idiot. People choose wedding dates for many different reasons, including because the date is special, but Sundays are also cheaper. I've heard of weddings on Valentine's Day, Wednesday morning, etc. You don't get a vote if you're not paying for the wedding. You deserved everything she said to you. Big, 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 you are the idiot. Going 3 hours away to a wedding is hardly destination. Her wedding is not about you. It's their day. And you're so inconsiderate that you have the nerve to try to change any part of it? I'm glad you're not going because weddings are happy occasions to be shared with loved ones, and nothing about what I just read was loving. As for your niece, I wish her a long and happy marriage, void of selfish family. I have 2 children, Caleb 29 and Anna 24. They've always been close up until this issue. Anna was bullied in middle school and high school by Violet, 25. We went to the school multiple times and talked to Violet's dad, and to put it bluntly, I could see where she got it from. The bullying affected Anna's self-esteem and social relationships, and during their senior year, Violet slept with Anna's boyfriend, which devastated her. Long story short, Caleb got a very impressive job opportunity he just couldn't turn down, but it meant working for Violet's dad. We all encouraged him to take it, but were blindsided when he later revealed he was dating Violet. They've now been together for 2.5 years, and the wedding is coming up. I'm absolutely not happy about this, and Caleb is aware. Violet has apologized to Anna, and Anna's willing to be civil with her for things like holidays. However, Caleb is very defensive if the bullying's brought up, and says Violet experienced a great deal of trauma as a teenager, and we need to be forgiving. Now, the issue at hand is the veil. My grandmother had a vintage designer veil with a unique pattern, and I had previously said Caleb and Anna could use it for their weddings if they wanted to. With no prior discussion, my wife gave it to Violet, who loved it. She's really into vintage fashion, and even specifically picked a dress to complement it. Anna recently expressed that it was hurtful to her. She didn't want Violet to have a family heirloom, and it felt too much like erasing history. I immediately understood and told Caleb and Violet that she couldn't wear it. I said when I told Caleb he could use it, I obviously couldn't anticipate the girl he would bring home. Violet gave it back to me, but Caleb blew up and uninvited me from the wedding. Now my wife is angry at Anna and me and says I need to give it back to Violet. She said Caleb has never truly seemed happy before, true, and that if I was a good dad, I would at least like Violet for making him happy. She said I'm coddling Anna, favoring her over Caleb, and she threatened to steal the veil and sneak it to the wedding. Not the idiot. Your wife sounds like not the most pleasant person, sorry. You're not favoring Anna. You're trying to protect her from having to relive her trauma every day. Your son is asking everyone to give Violet a break because she had a traumatic childhood, but he isn't willing to give the same to Anna. She had a traumatic childhood too, because of Violet. As for the veil, it's your family's heirloom to do with as you wish, not your wife's. I hope she reads the responses and sees how utterly childish she is, but I doubt she will change. Hopefully she doesn't further traumatize Anna with her actions. Agree. First, your wife shouldn't be giving away your heirlooms without much of a talk with you, regardless. Second, I understand. Considering your account of events, Anna is hurting a lot. Your wife, however, perhaps should be reminded that she's also Anna's mother at the end of the day. As for Caleb, I wouldn't date my sibling's bully in a million years, not even if they got covered in gold. Violet wasn't just a bully, she had intimacy with Anna's boyfriend. Nobody made her do that. Not her trauma, nothing made her do that, but her being a bad person. And now your son is dating her? The selfishness there is astounding. Your wife is part of the problem. Anna is more important than Violet. Also, an apology doesn't just fix everything. Bullies have to prove a lot before receiving forgiveness. And honestly, it makes sense why you did what you did. I recently had a baby, and my parents were invited to the hospital to meet her the day of. She was born on my dad's girlfriend, Emma's birthday. He's been with Emma for under a year and is extremely obsessed with her. Like, I would consider it unhealthy. It was Emma's 40th birthday, which I do get is a big deal. but I figured he could spare a couple of hours and just take her to dinner or something. Instead, he told me he wouldn't be able to come to the hospital because he didn't want her to be alone on her birthday. I pointed out that that was a little weird, but he insisted it was her birthday and she should get a whole day of stuff, plus some stuff about she has trauma, so she apparently deserves it more than most people. I was pretty hurt and disappointed, but I held it in at the time. He was the only grandparent who didn't come. My father-in-law and mom were disgusted, but my mother-in-law thought it was sweet what he was doing, so I don't know if I overreacted. My daughter is now 3 months, and it still bothers me, so I decided to tell him. It came up in conversation because it came up how much I don't like Emma for unrelated reasons, but I pointed out that he feeds into her by treating her like a princess. I said he was selfish to put a girlfriend of 10 or 11 months over his daughter and granddaughter. I said it changed how I viewed him, which definitely hurt his feelings. He got defensive and left with an attitude. Not the idiot. Actions have consequences. He felt that his 40-year-old girlfriend's birthday was more important than his daughter and his becoming a grandfather. How could that not have changed the way you view him? He can take his hurt feelings to Emma, who will no doubt ignore them and ask him to rub her feet. Agree. He couldn't spare an hour to come and meet his grandchild, for goodness sake. He could have brought the girlfriend with him if necessary. Unfortunately, your baby and the girlfriend are going to continue to share a birthday, so be prepared for this to be a regular snub while they're together. Everyone's the idiot here. He could have spared a couple of hours to come and meet the baby. Yes, but you, OP, didn't give birth to baby Jesus either, and you just sound jealous because you're not the center of your father's world anymore. This is not a contest between you and your dad's girlfriend. Please stop trying to make it one. It's not about a contest. A family member was brought into the world, and you decided that a 40-year-old woman's birthday was so important that you couldn't spare any time for your granddaughter's literal birthday? Will this happen every year? I'm sorry, but family comes first. Not a girlfriend of not even a year. He could have spared at least 20 minutes to meet her and hold her, but no, he passed on an experience that he will never get back. The first day out of the womb is pretty important. I would not talk to my dad if he didn't come see his grandchild. Seriously? He didn't need to be there the day of. He could visit at any time. You are the idiot, OP, because you're blowing this out of proportion. So he didn't see his grandchild on the actual day she was born. The other 3 grandparents were there. He wasn't doing it to insult you. He wanted to spend the day with his girlfriend on a milestone birthday. So your excuse for your behavior is that you don't feel being in a relationship for nearly a year counts as a serious one. You're wrong. Love is not measured in time. You just don't like her, and you're using the birth of your daughter to score points.